Hello, friends. So I went to this event recently, and it was an HR event. So it was hosted by BHIVE, okay, with some of the prominent speakers from the industry who are mostly into HI. Like they have been maybe more than 10 years, 15 years of experience in the industry, and all of them have shared their experiences and stuff, right? And it was super useful. I thought of I just this is the day. I mean, today is the day I went to this event, and I just came back and I thought of recording this entire video when I'm going to share a lot of insight that I've got from that event. Okay, so I've taken note of all of those. You can check it here. Okay, it's on my notebook. I love taking notes. That really helps me think better. Okay, and also articulate my thoughts better, right? So I'll start with few things. So this video might become a bit long, but hopefully you're gonna like and you will be getting a lot of insights from it. So just one small disclaimer, right? All the things that I've listed here, okay, all that insight that I have got from there, I cannot recall like which are the insights that I have received from which speaker. There were five speakers there, okay, and along with one of the moderators. So like I just took all the insights together and just wrote it down here. Okay, so it's not that I can specify this insight, but yeah, all the insights are unfiltered, and I hope you get to learn and take some takeaways from this. Okay, it was pretty good, and I really like the way they have hosted it. Yeah, some of the like points are a bit tricky. Okay, and as I told you, they're unfiltered, but yeah, let's see if they are good enough. Cool, I'll start. All right, so the first point is AI can't be ignored. Okay, it needs to be adapted, right, with our day-to-day activities. Okay, so just to give you a small context about this event. So it was an event for all the HRs. Okay, and it was an event how that actually like is designed to bring together all the HRs in the industry and understand how AI is helping them, right? How AI is actually taking over a lot of activities, a lot of mundane tasks and stuff that happens in the industry. So it was just a get together of all the HRs, and they shared their experience. Okay. In the end, I'll try to cover some of the things that I felt like could have been covered as well. Okay, or somewhere I feel like it could have been more effective. Okay, but yeah, the first point, as I told you, like AI can't be ignored and it needs to be adapted with our day-to-day activities. Okay, yeah, and AI is helping, and it is making efficient or for the folks, okay, for the candidates to stand out, right? So what exactly it means is anyone can create their resume very easily in today's time using AI, obviously, and then chat GPT. You can literally create a resume of yourself, or I mean, within a 60-second, you can create an amazing resume. You just have to give company name, or maybe just mention the industry, and you can just tailor a new resume as per your industry. Okay, that's one of the points. Okay, one of the speaker, I remember what he told. Okay, like when you're applying for different companies, right, have proper context about the company. Okay, and please use AI for that. Okay, so what exactly that means is like whenever you are applying for some company, so please try to understand what exactly they are doing, right? Like try to understand the business model as well. I mean, see, this is something where I tell this a lot to our community members, Fueler community members, that please have entrepreneurship as a skill. See, entrepreneurship as a skill, I feel it's mandatory for everyone. It's not just for startup founders. You don't need to start a new company to, like, you don't need to start a new company. Okay, if you know entrepreneurship is something I feel everybody should know, right? Everybody should learn about it, because that way you're going to understand how companies are, how businesses, how economy, how everything really works. Okay, you will become a high agency team person. Okay, you will be able to deliver better. Okay, you will also be able to managing a lot of things better. You will become a better leader, trust me. Okay, so that's how very useful when it's about entrepreneurship. So yeah, as I told you, please have proper context about the company, and you can use AI for that. Learn about the company, maybe just type on ChatGPT and ask like, hey, I'm applying to this company, this is the website. Okay, and you can literally ask, I'm applying for this role. Okay, so what are the different things that I can do, or what are the things that I should know while I'm applying for this company, and that can impress the impress the employers, right? Or maybe any round you're going, because first time it's about HR round, then definitely they will ask basic question. Then it could be a head of the department round, where there'll be marketing, design, any head of the department, they'll come to the call and they'll ask some questions. Sometimes they will grill you, right? So you have to take care of such things. Okay, now the point is, you can use AI, okay, to build all knowledge about yourself, to build awareness. Now, like, don't try to fake this. Okay, because what I feel like, you should be very genuine with all your approaches. Don't try to kind of fake it, because trust me, the people who are working in the industry for last 10, 15, 20 years, they exactly know if you are lying or not, right? So they can literally smell. Okay, that's how crazy this might sound, but this is true. Okay, and this I'm telling you from my experience. Okay, so I myself, I get to know if the person isn't like really faking it or is actually truth. Okay, so yeah, coming to the next point. Okay, have you done anything like that is tangible, right? I guess this is the angle where proof of work thing came in, but this is something the entire event I felt missing, right? But yeah, I'll cover more on this in the end. Okay, now yeah, so when you're applying for the job, right, so it needs pitching and storytelling as one of the factors. Okay, so pitching and storytelling is needs to be there when you're pitching. I mean, when you're like outreaching to someone. Okay, don't sound like a robot or a maybe someone like a machine, right? Please try to sound like like a human. Okay, and pitch with a proper storytelling, right? I mean, why you're trying to apply for this role, what makes you crazy about this company, why you like it, right? Do you like the founders, do you like the team, do you like the culture, do you like the product, what is it exactly, right? So learn storytelling for that. Next point is, you know yeah, someone actually mentioned, well, when people apply like for with a lot of resumes and CVs. Okay, so it should have, resume should have some kind of scoring or ranking or like some kind of benchmarking. Okay, whenever they are applying for jobs, so that way the person, I mean the employer, right, who are taking in all the resumes, they don't have to spend a lot of time going through them. Also, a lot of time it is unfair with the candidates who are applying for job with resumes, right? The problem is, because when you're applying to resume, even if you're skilled, the problem is your resume might not be impressive, right? It might look boring, the words are boring, so that way it might get filtered out, right? So that's where this ranking and scoring system is good. I like it. Okay, and one speaker actually mentioned a very good point that I really liked. It was especially for people who come from non-technical role. Okay, so non-technical, what exactly it means is people who are not that tech savvy, right? But they are mostly into writing or creative roles, or someone like who don't use a lot of tech in their day-to-day activities. So for them, it's a very good hack, by the way. Listen to this carefully. So this speaker, he mentioned that, okay, please try to like follow or shadow your manager. Okay, see what he or she is doing. Okay, so try to like understand their level. Okay, whatever you're doing right now, from here go grow 2 to 3x level. Okay, because that way you will be quickly learning stuff in your career. Okay, and don't wait for next 4 to 5 years to learn and be in your manager position. Now your manager might hate me for this, but listen to this very carefully. If you're working, please try to understand what your manager is doing, right? Understand like what their day-to-day activities look like. Maybe talk to them, understand their psychology, the way they manage their team and everything. So try to shadow your manager, because that way you will learn very fast. It's like you'll force yourself to learn from them. Okay, so that's a very good point. I found it here. Maybe I'll do a very elaborate video on this. So yeah, the next is talent doesn't like yeah, now this is a very interesting conversation. Okay, so a candidate, okay, when they're applying for a job, they don't like bot interaction. Okay, what exactly that means is, so like imagine you are applying for a job and some bot is actually calling you, hey, like this is it XYZ, is it Riten? Okay, and are you looking for a job? And all I have to say is yes, no. It's so boring, right? I mean, I don't know like how some companies are actually using bot to filter out people, but trust me, I feel it gives a bad impression. Okay, this is my personal take, but I really agree with this point that was mentioned here. Talent doesn't like a bot interaction. The more human interactions there, better it is, because that way, as a human, if I am applying, I'm also getting a fact that, okay, that person is actually putting his or her real effort in talking to me, right? That's a very good point. I felt like. Okay, and like yeah, again, to stretch this further, there's a follow-up point for this. That was candidate also doesn't like. Okay, I mean, see, if companies are choosing the candidates, right, so candidates are also choosing the company. Okay, so that's when the bot thing comes in. Okay, so if you are using bot, okay, to filter out your candidates or the pool, okay, the problem is like when you're going to use bot for them, so they are also like, it's like your bot is representing your company. That's actually not a good thing. Okay, but it's a special feeling if a candidate gets a call, okay, from the recruiter, hey, like we shortlisted your profile, would love to speak to you, or maybe this is the next round. So a person is much more excited and they have a hope for that, right? And I really like the fact that, okay, yes, there are a lot of people who will apply for the one two three like positions, and maybe there could be 500 1000 profiles, right? It's very hard, I totally understand, and literally calling everyone is very tough, right? And that's why filtering out all the resumes is also very hard, and this is where actually Fueler comes in. Okay, so you know what Fueler does. Fueler helps you, if you're a founder watching this video, Fueler helps you hire candidates based on assignments or micro tasks that you give, right? The task could be 15 or 20 minutes or 30-minute task. Okay, it could be very simple or it could be complex. Like I would suggest, make it paid, so that you'll get more number of folks who are interested to work with you. And sometimes it could be free as well, because doesn't really matter. But yeah, with assignment, the thing is like you'll be able to filter out people very quickly, okay, and efficiently, because it also shows their skin in the game, right? So from Fueler side, we always try to communicate with our committee members that, hey, like this company is hiring, you should really apply for this, and using this you can work on this small task and submit. Based on that, you'll get to hear back. Now the catch is, with Fueler, your assignment is never wasted. So even if the company doesn't hire you, they can approve or reject you, and of course the chances are more that it will get approved, because if it gets approved, it is going to be on your Fueler portfolio. I'll make a video on this or some other day, like, or if you have known Fueler for some time, please check out any Fueler portfolio, and there you will find an option that says assignment. If you scroll on, you will see some different tabs, right? Projects, timeline, stats, okay, collaboration, it shows, right? So there's one more tab that comes up, that is assignment. So that tab shows all the assignment that got approved by the company. So your assignment is never wasted. This is why we recommend companies to use Fueler when they're hiring. Okay, now I'm going to the next point. Okay, trust gap. Okay, so trust gap is real. Okay, so when, like, here there is a very beautiful example someone gave, one of the speakers. When you're applying for a loan, right? I mean, in today's time, like, a lot of apps, in my app, so I use SBI as an account, bank account, so I already have a pre-approved loan, right? So imagine this, you're already getting loan, or maybe you're applying for job, sorry, you're applying for loan. You will get, at least within a half hour or 1 hour, you'll get a call, hey, like, yeah, like you want a loan or something. The inquiry is there. But there's a problem with hiring. So when you're applying for a job, you send your resume or application. The problem is you hardly hear back from them, and that's really a problem. And I feel it's so unfair with the candidates that, they have to wait very long for this. And I myself, like, I feel really bad that this happens. There's a lot of delay in this. Okay, somehow the process is a bit slow. Okay, that's the problem. But yeah, let's see if we can solve this in the future with Fueler. So that's the plan. Okay, and of course, yeah, with human interaction, not with AI, right? That's the thing that we want to bring. Okay, now one more speaker that mentioned one more point, that was, jobs are boring. Like, applying for jobs are boring. Like, if you get an email, the analogy was when there is a, like, email marketing campaign from any D2C brand or Zomato or something, it's very fun and interactive, right? But imagine if you're applying for a job through an email, it says, this is an application form, fill this, fill this, fill this, fill it, and then, like, it's too lengthy and it's too boring at time, right? So, like, application, so the point with that speaker made was, you can make your application process a bit fun and interesting. Okay, and some companies actually do this, and I really like the fact that they actually put in efforts to bring good talents in their company. Okay, so that's a very good point that has been made there. Okay, so yes, companies need to make it look attractive for the candidates to apply. Yeah, of course, your job role should be attractive, because a candidate applying for a job to a company, it's literally a very big decision for someone. Okay, that person is giving, like, their time to your company. Of course, they're getting paid for it, but at the same time, I feel as a founder, you should be giving a lot of efforts in making the job role very good, right? Interactive, or maybe fun, or of course there should be proper growth, right? So again, it is sometimes very tough, right, when there's this scale. Okay, but yeah, things can be done, right? I mean, there are a lot of examples, if you study, that things can be done, right? So yeah, now there is one more point that brought by one of the speakers. Okay, so AI reduces biases. Okay, so what exactly mean is, like, it is mean is, like, so HR, when they are hiring, they come with biases. Whenever we grow up in the society, we have a lot of biases, we have a lot of our own opinion, right? Now the thing is, AI doesn't come with biases, and that's what makes AI a better, like, alternative when they are making a decision, right? It's a men, it's a women, or if the person has some previous records and like stuff and all, and if there is a personal beef with the candidate, then of course the HR might reject them, right? Or, so there are a lot of factors, right? So this was the point also that mentioned. Okay, AI reduces biases. Okay, and human has biases, that's one of the problems, right? But at the same time, it's good too. Okay, we cannot fully rely on AI to make decision for our company. Okay, it surely will help, but it's actually a bit tough, right? Now, yes. So whenever, like, anybody who's applying for job, right? so they have certain persona. Okay, so if by any way AI can create the persona of the person to understand, so that there is a good culture fit. So that's a very good point made by a speaker, and I really liked it, and probably you will see this on Fueler in some days. Okay, so now there's one more point. 87% of the companies around the world are already using for recruitment. That was the figure, and it was mind boggling. Imagine 87% is really big, right? And after that, 26% of the candidates only trust AI. Okay, so that was a bit shocking. Okay, I am not yet sure about the number. Okay, but yeah, this is exactly what I heard, right? So and that was the panel discussion on, right, like it was a question that was asked, like 87% of the companies are using AI for recruitment, but only 26% of the candidates, they trust AI, right? So I mean, how should we reduce the gap, right? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? So that was the point being discussed there. And yes, so like for candidate, okay, trust is the first touch point that actually like makes the candidate decide that should I work with them or not, right? If they are not able to build trust, they won't be able to work with you, right? So trust is very, very important, and I feel like there's something I believe in personally. Okay, I feel everybody in this world is solving for this one thing that is called trust. Okay, if you solve for trust me, you will make money very easily, right? Because if someone trusts you, they're open to pay you, right? That's the thing. And even at Fueler, like like whenever there is a good thing that happens, okay, and we say thank you to the person who believed in us, then we also mention thank you for trusting us. So this is something we want to take it forward in the next few years, or until, like, I mean, next 50 100 years to come, right? So that is something we personally believe in. So trust is very hard to create, and that is why we put a lot of weight into this trust factor. Okay, the next point one speaker made, humans are really gullible. Okay, gullible. Why gullible? Because, like, whatever AI says, a lot of time we believe it, and we don't do reference check and stuff. So that's actually true. If you're asking some question, you might have some queries, you might have some complete conflict, and you're asking AI, and whatever it says, and you literally believe it, right? So I'm not here to say it's good or bad. I'm just sharing the insight I got to learn from there. Okay, on the all the speakers that they mentioned. Okay, and the next thing was, okay, 4 lakh jobs, AI jobs are listed in India right now. Okay, that's actually crazy. I mean, 4.5 lakhs is insane. Okay, one of the speakers, and it's a speaker, and I clearly remember, it's a founder of Interview. It's a Shark Tank company. They came up in season 3. Okay, so you can literally Google it. Okay, Interview. Okay, intervue. Okay, .io. So just go there, you will find it. Okay, and you will learn. So it's a Shark Tank, I mean, company, and like they were there. Okay, and the founder actually mentioned this one thing. Okay, a hiring should happen, 70% should be skill based. Okay, and there's 30% should be based on culture fit. Okay, there could be biases, there could be opinion, there could be something that like AI cannot trace. Okay, so that is the that's a very good point that has been made. So 70% should be skill first hiring. Okay, and that's what exactly we're trying to solve at Fueler. If you're a founder watching this, or like if you're someone professional watching this, please be on Fueler, showcase your skill. It's very important that that you should have your proof of skill. Okay, if you don't have your proof of skill, your proof of work is your proof of skill, right? If you say, I know performance ad, so what is the proof of it? You actually go on Fueler and publish the work you have done, right? You need ideas, you can talk to us, we can give you ideas what you can do, right? So but please create proof of work. It's very important in today's time. Even though the biasing thing is unfair, but it's still required, because that is how our societies and cultures are being shaped, right? And if there is something where everybody agrees with everything, then I think revolutionary things and contrarian thoughts won't have any space in the society, right? So this is very important. Biases are very important. I personally believe it's something, and I should fight for it, right? And that's why I guess Fueler also exists, because we believe in your skill should be speaking for yourself, right? Instead of some piece of paper or resumes. Okay, so that is the thing. Now there are a few analogies that some of the speakers gave. I really loved it. Okay, the question was, okay, like, do you think, I mean, AI will replace the job of AI recruiter? Okay, now that's a very good question, right? So as speaker, I really loved what he said. Okay, I also, after the session, I met him. I actually told him, hey, like, I really loved your like whatever you mentioned. Okay, and I took 3 analogies that you mentioned, and they were really cool. Now think about it. Whenever motors, right, whenever motors came in, right, in maybe 1990s, or I mean not 1990s, 90s, 1900, that time, right, when motor came up, right, the problem was, it like whenever you should touch, like, it used to give you shock, right? Or you were scared, what happens if you are gone, right? What if it burst, and what if you die, and all of this, right? It was scary, because suddenly you are using horses for traveling and all of those, right? Suddenly there is this motor that came in, and it brought industrial revolution, right, where there was like car and big machines and stuff, right? So when motor come, people were also very shocked and stuff, right? So now try to understand, in today's time the motor are not barely visible, right? They're inside some kind of appliances, right? Or it is already used in different things. The point is, the motor, once we used to see bare with our bare eyes, right now it's not there, it's already in the form of appliances that we use in our life. Similarly, in that this case, AI is going to be there, right? So think about the application of the AI and try to work towards that. Don't worry about getting replaced and stuff. Always think how you can use AI in your day-to-day work culture. That is the thing. Yes, the other analogy that the person gave was, if the AI can replace us, right? The thing was, AI cannot replace because it will create more and more job. The thing was like, whenever car came up, right, and we thought we'll go back to our home very quickly and we'll spend more time with our family, right? Same thing with computer. It's like when computer came up, we'll do our work very fastly, and we all thought that we will spend time with our family, do gardening and all of those, right? But do you think that thing happened? No, right? So that's the point here. Car came up and traffic increased, and it created more other scope of work, right? And same for computers, right? Computer was here to save our time, of course it did, but it created more such job, right? So same for AI. Okay, so that's the very good point. Okay, I feel like what I personally believe is also AI, it will increase the scope of work, right? It will create more type of work. Okay, it will create more such demands and stuff, right? So you'll be able to, where you can prove yourself that yeah, human intervention is important, right? So that's very important. Okay, and regarding hiring, it's very important that companies try to give proper feedback to the candidates whenever they apply. So it's very good point that has been made there. Okay, and it was the last thing, like, everybody please see AI as an enabler. Okay, enabler in the society. Okay, and it's not exactly replacing the human intelligence, because human intelligence is built of a lot of different factors which we might yet not know. I mean, we humans are yet not, you can say, fully aware of the fact that what are the things that we can do, right? We are limitless, right? Humans are limitless, that we often say this. So human intelligence is still required in hiring. Okay, AI can be just an enabler, it cannot replace, right? So that's it from the entire like session that I attended today. Okay, even though you couldn't attend, so I tried to cover some of the points that you can also apply in your journey. Now here are a few of the thoughts, my personal thoughts, that I felt like could have been covered in the session. It was about, what is the alternative of resumes, right? They didn't mention about the word proof of work. So I feel proof of work is something very new to this entire HR ecosystem right now. Okay, proof of work as a point, it's not there. They were still discussing about the resumes and how resume could be better, how resume could not be faked, or how we could add different elements to resume and all of those, right? So I feel proof of work as a point could have been much more better. Okay, and also I felt like they could have covered a lot more on different mistakes or hiring practices that are not that are already happening with AI. Okay, so that it will help the other HRs in sitting out there, okay, understand how they could leverage the AI in the day-to-day operation. So for example, they would have mentioned the different tools that they are using. It could be different stories that they could mention, like we got such use cases where AI is helping us in this way, that way. So that way, like when they are saying that use AI is an enabler, it could have helped a lot of other people understand how everybody is using AI, right? The discussion could have been much more better. And my third point is, I feel like the audience, interaction was pretty less. It felt like off. It was not, like it was not that hot. Okay, sometimes whenever I host events, it's with sometime HI with some other, yeah, like I mean, different events that I host. Like I usually get a lot of questions, or there is a lot of interest from the audience. We have to, like, we cannot take more questions and stuff, right? But in this, maybe it could be short of time. I felt like there could be more audience interaction. There could be more points from the audience, because the panel also enjoys when there is a lot of points from the audience, right? So yeah, that is it. So yeah, that is it from the session. Okay, I hope you learned something new today. You can expect more such videos coming in the future. I'll be breaking it down for you so that you also can prepare yourself for different interesting things, right? So yeah, that's it. Bye bye, guys.